Once upon a time, in a land not so far away, a story called The Spooky Forest's Secret began. Once upon a time, in a land filled with whispering trees and giggling flowers, lived a boy named Sigley. Sigley loved superheroes and drawing fantastical creatures, especially when he could use his crayons to make them burst with vibrant colors. One sunny afternoon, while drawing a picture of a superhero dragon, Sigley stumbled upon a path he'd never seen before. It led into the spooky forest. Now, the name Spooky Forest might sound a little, well, spooky, but in reality, it was anything but. The trees wore coats of emerald green and sapphire blue, and the leaves sparkled like 1,000 tiny jewels. As Sigley ventured deeper, he heard a cheerful, "Hello." He looked up and saw Frizzle, a rainbow dragon. Frizzle was a sight to behold. Her scales shimmered with every color imaginable, and instead of fire, she breathed out a stream of glittering stardust. "Welcome to the spooky forest," Frizzle exclaimed, her voice like a tinkling bell. "I'm Frizzle." "Wow," Sigley gasped. "You're amazing. I'm Sigley, and I love drawing superheroes." He couldn't believe his luck. A real-life, glitter-breathing dragon. He had to draw her later. "I'm so glad to meet you, Sigley," said Frizzle. Suddenly, a soft, twinkling light appeared next to them. It was Twinkle, the sleepy star. Twinkle was a gentle star, the color of blue-violet, who drifted down from the sky to snuggle with children who couldn't sleep. "Hello, Sigley," she whispered, her voice like the gentle chime of wind chimes. "It's so nice to see a new friend." "What are you two doing?" Sigley asked, his eyes wide with wonder. "We're trying to figure out why the gloom has come to the spooky forest," Frizzle explained, her rainbow scales dimming a little. "The gloom makes everything a little." "Gloom?" Sigley asked, tilting his head. "What's that?" "It's a kind of grayness," Twinkle explained. "It makes the colors in the forest fade a bit, and the happy feelings disappear." She looked a little sad. Frizzle sighed. "We need to find a way to make the gloom go away." Sigley, always ready for an exciting quest, puffed out his chest. "I can help. I love superheroes. What do we do? What do we do?" "We need to find the source of the gloom and do a good deed," Frizzle declared. "Maybe that will make it disappear." She smiled, and a puff of glitter floated into the air. And so the three friends began their quest. They walked through the forest, its usual cheerful colors now a bit muted. They passed trees wearing hats of red and yellow leaves and flowers that usually giggled, but now were quiet. "Where do we start?" Sigley asked, clutching his favorite crayon, a shimmering silver. "We have to be brave and kind," Twinkle said, her voice soft but firm. "Maybe a good deed will show us the way." As they continued their journey, they saw something new. "Oh, look!" Sigley shouted. "It's Sprout!" Coming towards them was a dark turquoise broccoli with a cape made of lettuce. "Greetings, friends," Sprout boomed, his voice deep and strong. "I am Sprout, and I am here to help." "Sprout is the bravest and strongest of us all," Frizzle said proudly. "He's a space broccoli, and he can talk to all the vegetables." "We are trying to get rid of the gloom," Twinkle explained, "and we are looking for a good deed to perform. I know what will help." Sprout said, "There's a grumpy caterpillar stuck in a web. If we help him, it will be a good deed." And with that, Sprout led the way. They found the caterpillar, covered in web. Sigley, using a stick, carefully freed the grumpy caterpillar. The caterpillar, still grumpy, simply wriggled away. "Well, that didn't seem to help," Sigley mumbled. The gloom did not move at all. They tried again, and each time, the good deed was too small or done poorly. Dejected, they returned to the center of the forest, when suddenly, Frizzle had an idea. "I can help with that," she said. She took a deep breath and breathed out a huge puff of glittery stardust. The glitter sparkled and shimmered, floating through the forest, touching every leaf and flower. Slowly, The colors began to brighten. The forest seemed to breathe a collective sigh of relief. "That was a good idea, Frizzle," Sigley exclaimed, clapping his hands. Twinkle smiled and closed her eyes. She began to hum a lullaby, and the forest seemed to fall into a peaceful sleep. In their dreams, the forest creatures saw happy movies and felt the warmth of friendship. The gloom, sensing the joy and happiness, began to fade away. The next morning, the spooky forest was more vibrant than ever. The trees were brighter, the flowers giggled with glee, and the air was filled with a sweet, happy scent. Sigley, Frizzle, Twinkle, and Sprout had tea and broccoli snacks on a hill overlooking the spooky forest, laughing and sharing stories. Sigley knew that even though the quest hadn't been perfect, the friends had brought happiness to the forest. He pulled out his sketchbook and began to draw, capturing the magical moment with his silver crayon. From that day on, the spooky forest was always a place of joy and color, and Sigley learned that sometimes the best thing you can do is to be kind and help your friends, and that everyone can make the world a brighter place, even a boy who loves drawing superheroes. Let's see what a great listener you are. Can you answer the following question? Why did the friends want to make the gloom disappear from the spooky forest? Let's see how you did. The answer is because the gloom made the colors in the forest fade and the happy feelings disappear. You did a great job. I hope you enjoyed this story pie tale. I'll see you next time.